Hey guys, it is Ben. It is Monday afternoon. Um, for those of you who notice, I've kind of stopped doing weekend videos, mostly because I haven't had, too much interesting to say lately, I think. But hopefully that is going to change very soon because I just recently bought a game that I am very excited about playing. You all probably know of it, Outer Worlds. I got it, which is freaking awesome. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet though, but it is... it's looking good. Especially, the fact that anytime somebody says, "Oh, you'll love this game if you love the new Fallout New Vegas," that immediately piques my interest. As you all are probably aware, I can't imagine you not being at this point. Outlaw Nights is still live on Indiegogo. We are currently 12 days and counting left on this campaign. We are very close to hitting $2,000. Now, we are a far cry away from where I was hoping we would be at this point in the campaign. Now, as everybody's been telling me, in these 12 days, anything can happen. But from my realistic lens, if and when this campaign fails, I am going to be relaunching sometime around April. I'd like to launch it as early as possible. And everybody's been telling me that early spring is the best time to launch. So I'm going to do that if this campaign fails. Yeah. 48 pages of badassery, an intro to the Outlaw Nights universe, which will hopefully go on and on. Currently we're set to cap off around 6 issues, but I'd like to keep going beyond that, but it all depends on what you guys desire. Yeah, so we got that good stuff coming down the line. Yesterday I watched some footage from the Final Fantasy VII Remake, like gameplay demo footage. Blew me away. It was everything I wanted as a kid. Although, this is just for me personally, because I think most people might not agree with me, but I'm totally fine with long cutscenes in this game. The longer, the more detailed, the more intricate, the better, in my opinion. I think a lot of people won't agree with me on that, but I'm very much a story-based gamer. I like playing games with detailed stories. The more detail, the better. Mostly just out of a sense of like a video game like with fun gameplay will hold my attention for maybe like a day or two. But if there's no story there, if there's nothing I'm like shooting for, metaphorically speaking, I lose interest real quick, because it's like, okay, I feel like the way I feel about games that have like great gameplay and like no story whatsoever, I'm always reminded of my favorite quote from George Costanza on Seinfeld. He said, story is the foundation of all entertainment. You must have a good story because otherwise it's just masturbation. And that's really That's how I feel about it, in all honesty. It's like, if it doesn't have a good story, I'm just spinning my wheels here. There's no damn point. You know what I mean? Like, at least with a good story, it's like it can affect you. It can help, you know, it helps to shape your personal sense of character. At least for me, you know. I'm big on storytelling. I'm big on narrative. It's my thing. It's why I'm writing a comic book. Well, I already wrote a comic book. The script for Outlaw Nights is all done. We've got 5 pages all fully finished. It's just that we're gonna need funding in order to complete the book. Which, you know, if this campaign fails, chances are I'm gonna try to get my hands on some more spare monies. You know, I'm gonna try to get a little bit more of the book done. It just depends on what I can pull together. But yeah, and I'm really excited though about Outer Worlds. Everything I've heard about it, it's like New Vegas in space. Although I'm a little nervous, I'll tell you that. I'm nervous because, from what I could tell, Outer Worlds is very much dealing with space colonization. And as you all know, Outlaw Nights deals with space colonization. I hope to God that we don't have too much parallels going on. That's been my biggest thing, is like, I know that there are elements of Outlaw Nights that kind of resemble other properties a little bit, but it's like, it's only tiny elements, and it's, I've blended them together in a different fashion. So I don't know, maybe it's just my ego. I think it's kind of my ego where I kind of I mentally hit the spot where I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want Outlaw Nights to be comparable to anything, I don't know, like, a lot of people love to say, on live streams in particular, I've heard a lot, they're like, oh yeah, this book, it's very Firefly-esque, it's very evocative of Firefly. And I remember I was just cursing in my head, because I remember a long ass time ago, I was still thinking of Outlaw Nights, I was still like conceptualizing a lot of the lore. And there was a point where a friend of mine had shown me Firefly. I had never seen it before, and I got so pissed, because there were several things in the first episode of Firefly that were like touching on stuff I was gonna use, and I was so mad, so I had to change it. But it's like, I can't stand that, I can't stand how, like, you think you've got something that you're like, oh man, it's gold, and then like somebody else thinks of the exact same thing. It is the worst. I remember, like, there was a Jet Li movie way back when, called Fearless. No. It was called Unchained, or Unleashed. And when I saw that movie, I was mad, because I had come up with a similar concept to that movie. It was called Weapon. And I basically scrapped that entire idea, because the Jet Li movie pretty much touched on everything I wanted to touch on. So yeah, that sucks when that, parallel thought. But on the other hand, it's also kind of cool, because, in a way, you think about it, it's like your ideas have sold already, so there you go. Remember, the link to Outlaw Nights is in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Share it around to friends, family, anybody who's mature enough for an anti-hero 17 and up story. You're gonna love it, I promise you. Because I can tell you that I love it to death. If you like anything I have to say, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much once again for joining me, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.